Hey, this is Russell. Welcome back to the show. Today I want to talk about something that I have never talked about before publicly, but I think it's something that'll be really powerful for you. It's called the content launch funnel. And this is really one of the secrets to selling anything without selling anything, okay? I know it may seem confusing at first, but come back with me. I'm gonna explain how this thing works because it gives you the ability where you can literally email your list every single day and they never get frustrated, they never get burned out, they never get tired. In fact, they start looking forward to your emails. And at the same time, it converts more of these people, every single opener, every single clicker into a buyer, which is the key. And so that's what we're talking about today. So if you want to drive more traffic, if you want to send more emails, you have more success, this content launch funnels concept is something new that I've been tinkering out there for like the last 4 years now. Okay, so the very first type of funnel that's important to understand is what's called a product launch funnel. And this is the funnel that was made famous by Jeff Walker. If you've ever gone through Jeff Walker's PLF course, product launch formula, that's what he's teaching, is how to do a product launch funnel. Jeff calls it a sideways sales letter, which is kind of fun. I always think about like this long form sales letter to sell your product or service, and it's sideways like tips over and then breaks into like 4 different things, right? So if you look at a traditional Jeff Walker style product launch funnel, this is the way it works, right? The very first step, you go on this landing page, you put in your email address, and then after that, you get it put on an email list, right? And then what's going to happen is typically they're going to have 4 videos, okay? Video number 1 is going to be there, and usually like, depending on how you do the product launch, there's some people who do a lot of pre-launch and they'll release video 1, then a week later video 2, a week later video 3, a week later video 4. Some people do it evergreen where like every 48 hours it unlocks one. Others do it where it's like you get video 1 when it's done, then you can go to video 2 and then video 3 and video 4. But these 4 videos are all about setting up a sale, right? The same way if you were to read like a long form, like 60-page sales letter, the first part of the sales letter is video number 1. The second part of the sales letter is video 2. Third part of sales letter is video 3, and the fourth part of the sales letter is where you actually sell the offer. Number 3 is going to be your internal false beliefs. Number 4 is going to be your external, and then you make the pitch, right? So it's different, but very similar model, right? It's how you break up the 4 videos. And so that's kind of the concept how Jeff Walker runs his product launch funnel. So I'm sure you've seen it before. If not, that's kind of the way it works. Someone opts in, there's a video, a couple days later, you get video 2, video 3, and video 4, then makes the special offer, okay? And so that's what the product launch funnel looks like. And so from a structure standpoint, we're using very similar structure with the content launch funnel, but different strategies. So I don't want you thinking, oh, Russell's teaching a product launch funnel. I'm not. Okay, it's just understanding the strategy. In fact, if you look at a traditional product launch funnel, you'll see usually at the top, there's like 4 videos, and like video 1 will be unlocked, and video 2, 3, and 4, there's a lock sign, like they're locked down, like you can't get them until they release video 2, and then video 3, and video 4, right? But we still had, like if you go to ClickFunnels.com, there was a trial, like a 14-day trial, right? And so the one thing we added was on the thank you page. After someone register for the webinar, this was Todd's brilliant idea. Todd Dickerson, my business partner. Todd said, hey, let's add this thing where it basically make a video, say, hey, thank you for registering for the webinar. It's going to start in 2 days, whatever. But before you show up, register for sign up for a free ClickFunnels trial down below and just play with it a little bit. And then during the presentation, I'm going to show you how to use it. I'm going to walk you through it, but make sure you have an account right now so you can use it. Again, there's a 14-day trial, so you can cancel afterwards, but make sure you have the trial when you show up to the webinar. And again, there's a free 14-day trial down below. So we add that one little thing in there on the thank you page. And what's crazy, like in hindsight now, going back a decade, year number 1 of ClickFunnels, we ended up getting 2,500 people ended up buying the $1,000 offer I made at the end of the webinar, which is great, right? That's a really good business. But what's even better is 7,500 people created a trial on the thank you page and stuck. So we had 7,500 people paying $97 a month for ClickFunnels after the first 12 months. So what's crazy, you look at like most people do a webinar like, oh, we did US 2,500 times 1,000, right? We did $2.5 million in sales. That's great, right? But what you don't understand is that 7,500 times 97 is $7.5 million. No, it's more. No, what's the math? Anyway, it's like I think it's close to $9 million a year in recurring revenue, right? Way more profitable than what we sold on the webinar. It was that little tweak, little hinge that swung a huge door, right? And so we started calling these thank you page MIFGEs. What's a MIFGE? MIFGE stands for the most incredible free gift ever. I learned this from Dan Kennedy. When I bought Dan Kennedy's company, it was funny. I'm a consultant as well. So when I consult with a company, I look at like what's already working and then how can we like double down on, like how can we take that and improve upon it versus like scrap everything and start over. So when I bought Dan's company, I met with this whole team, flew out here to Boise, and I asked them like, hey, you guys have been running this company for 40 years. Like, what's what's working, right? And they said, well, the thing that's been working for 40 years is the MIFGE. And I was like, what? The MIFGE? And like, yeah, the MIFGE. And I remember I hated that word for a while. I was like, that's the most annoying word ever. Now I love it, right? And I said, what's the MIFGE? He said, oh, it's the most incredible free gift ever, MIFGE. MIFGE, MIFGE, right? And they took the MIFGE. And so what Dan Kennedy would do is when he launched his newsletter back in the day, it was like, hey, when you sign up for my newsletter, you get like $10,000 worth of bonuses and money-making advice for free. So it was like an irresistible offer, right? And so when we launched the Dan Kennedy company, when I relaunched the company, we just made a really good MIFGE offer. We launched it, and that's how we built that whole business and that brand again. And so that's what a MIFGE is, a really good offer. And so what we do inside of on thank you page MIFGE, someone registers for a webinar, for a challenge, for a launch, whatever it is, and then on the thank you page, after we thanked them, they make them an irresistible offer, a MIFGE offer, right? An offer they can't say no to. And so that's kind of what the MIFGE is. All right. Okay, so those are the two things you've got to understand. Okay, number one was how the product launch funnel works, and number two, how a MIFGE funnel works. Okay, now what we're going to be talking about differently, what we're going to do today, again, is the secret to selling basically anything without selling anything. Okay, and I call this a content launch funnel. And we started this 4 years ago, where basically, like, I have a ton of offers, right? I have more offers than probably anyone on the planet. I've got my Dotcom Secrets book, Expert Secrets book, Traffic Secrets book, Perfect Webinar Script. I've got list building secrets. I've got, like, there's tons, ClickFunnels and Funnel Hacks webinar. I have so many offers. What I'm doing is I'm taking the offer. So let's just say, for example, here we go, Dotcom Secrets book, right? So say I'm going to sell the Dotcom Secrets book. I can send 5 emails to my list selling the book, but then it's like, okay, Russell, we got the gist, like, you're selling the book. Like, there's no value here other than just us buying your offer. So I'm okay, how can I do this? I started looking back, like, what are all the things I've done over the years, content-wise, around Dotcom Secrets, right? And I found I did a 1-day event going through all the stuff inside Dotcom Secrets. I did a 3-day event. I had spoken on tons of people's podcasts. I'd spoken on stage multiple times. Like, I have so many cool things. A Dotcom Secrets book, and me teaching things in really cool spots, right? So I thought, like, instead of me just selling the book, what if I go back and I find a bunch of that content and I let people watch that for free so they get a taste of the book, right? The candy. And then inside of that, then I offer them the irresistible offer, the most incredible free gift ever, right? Like, what does that look like? And so what we do is we took, again, I took 4 videos, okay? I have 4 videos and I have an offer. Like, what's the right funnel I can use? And I was like, what if I use the product launch funnel? But instead of having these product launch videos all set up to launch a $2,000 course or something, what if it was like this, okay? So basically this is what it looks like right now. This is what the content launch funnel looks like. So we have a landing page that says, hey, I've been teaching people how to have success with funnels for the last, 10 years. I'm a bestselling author teaching this concept, but I've got 4 videos that I've done throughout my life teaching, like, the most important things. I did one over here, one over here, one over here. Like, people had to spend $5,000 to be at this event, $2,000. It's like these are real, actual, like, valuable videos. If you want to get free access to them, give me an email address, right? So I turn to a lead magnet. So someone comes and they want access to these cool videos. They put in their email address. Right, email address goes in, boom, they go to the next page, and the next page we slide in the thank you page of MIFGE, okay? Hey, thank you so much for registering for the Dotcom Secrets training series. If you haven't read the book yet, there's a link down below. You can get the book, get a free copy of the book, cover shipping handling. The link's down below. You can get a free copy. And they go down, they can say yes, get a free copy, or no. If they say no thanks, boom, it takes them over to video number 1. If they say yes, it takes them to the book funnel, and then takes them back to video number 1, right? So either way. Now what happens is a percentage of people buy the book right there, but a bigger percentage don't, right? They bypass the book, they watch video number 1. So watching video number 1, free video, free training, it's awesome. It's like, for me, it's like a 60-minute video, like something that people would pay for other places, right? But they're watching this video, and the video is me going deep into one of the chapters from the Dotcom Secrets book. They watch, they learn, like, this is amazing, right? So now they're at the peak excitement. They just, like, witnessed an hour of me teaching this thing, like, this is awesome, like, I want some more. And guess what? Right below the video, there's a link that says, hey, get a copy of my book right here. Like, oh, and they go get a copy of the book. They go get a copy of the book. Okay. Now, after they've registered, they put their email address on the opt-in page. Now there's, immediately they get an email that pushes them to video number 2. But then day number 2, they get a video that pushes them to video number 2. Like, hey, I hope you enjoyed yesterday's video. If you missed it, here's a link to go watch yesterday's video. But today I gave you another video. This is when I had a chance to speak at so-and-so's event. I wanted to go deep on this concept. And so this is, from chapter 13 of the book. But if you want to go watch a free hour-long session on how to do this, click here. And they go there, boom, to video number 2 in the product launch, the content launch funnel, right? And so if you look at the way the page is structured up top, you can see, like, there's the 4 videos, right? And so when they go to video number 1, video number 1's open, and video 2, 3, and 4, the little image has a locked icon, right? When they go to video number 2, right, now video number 1 and number 2 are open. So they can click back and forth and go back to video 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So they can watch 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 are still locked down, right? So they watch video number 2, like, oh, I want to watch video number 3, but I can't. Oh, but then Russell's talking about his book again, like, oh. So all of a sudden another percentage are like, I got a lot of people on the thank you page who bought the book. A lot of people on video 1 bought the book, but now I'm on video number 2 just giving value. right? They have a chance to go and they watch video 2. If they like it, boom, then they go buy the book. And then they do the same thing, video 3 next day. Hey, here's video 1 and 2 again. But if you haven't watched them, now here's the video number 3, which is me teaching this concept. Go watch it. Boom, all pushes down to that exact same offer. And that's kind of the way that works. Okay. So if you look at our email sequence, the way it works right now is what we'll do is each week we pick a new content launch funnel that we're going to focus on, right? So for example, in my business right now, the time I'm recording this, next week is the Expert Secrets is the offer. The Expert Secrets book is the offer. And so we have a content launch funnel in front of that wraps, is MIFGE candy. It's candy and wrapping around this irresistible offer, right? The most incredible gift ever. And so what we'll do is the email list, we'll send out 3 emails, 1, 2, 3, trying to get them to opt in to register for the free content, okay? And if they do, then they're taken off that email list temporarily. Then they get the emails pushing them from video 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, okay? And then after video 4, then we do 2 more emails that just promote the book. Okay. Now, if I send them 3 emails and they don't ever opt into the list, that's okay. Video 4 and 5, I just push them directly to the offer. Okay. So either way, they're seeing the offer, but I'm wrapping it in candy first. Okay. So again, this is what we call it MIFGE candy. And so that's that's how we structure it. That makes sense. And so again, next week we're doing Expert Secrets. The week after that, we're doing Perfect Webinar. So what did I do? I found really cool spots. Me in Mexico teaching Perfect Webinar, me in the UK teaching Perfect, like different pieces of it. Boom, 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 boom. They opt in for 4 free videos, teaching concepts from the book. Boom, thank you page. They get, and Perfect Webinar is not a book, it's a $7 course, but then we push them, the most incredible free gift ever is a $7 course, right? And so on and so forth. So that's what a content launch funnel looks like. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, obviously, if you want to sell stuff online, you're going to need a good funnel. But if you want a great funnel, then you're going to need to use ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is the #1 funnel builder in the world, helping more first-time entrepreneurs to leave their 9-to-5 and to launch their dream than any other company in the world. ClickFunnels was built for the dreamers and the doers. You can get a free 14-day trial by clicking on a link in the description or going to clickfunnels.com/YouTube right now. ClickFunnels, because you're one funnel away from changing the world. Okay, so now you guys understand this concept, right? What I want you to start thinking through is a couple things. In fact, I got 3 steps for you, okay? Step number 1 is figuring out what is the thing that you actually want to sell, okay? Again, it could be a book, could be a course, could be your membership site, could be content, it could be whatever it is, right? And so that's the first thing. Now, I want to amplify this a little bit. A lot of people miss this, right? Whenever I say MIFGE, the most incredible free gift ever, a lot of times they think about this in relation to like how I traditionally teach in the past, which is like if you're launching a membership site, right? You create a MIFGE, like a really good offer to get people in the continuity. But the reality is every single offer I'm creating, I'm attaching it to a MIFGE. Does that make sense? So again, I'll come back to the Dotcom Secrets book, right? This is the book. It's free plus shipping. It's $7.95, get a copy of this book, right? But then if you go to dotcomsecrets.com and look on the page, like you don't just get this book, you also get, I have like 6 different things, okay? You get these 6 things for free when you buy the book, okay? So when you buy the book, you get these 6, so I think if I went to the page, it's like there's like a 30-day challenge, there's 2 or 3 other ebooks, there's 2 or 3 video courses, so you get all these things, right? So I took those things, that is the most incredible free gift ever you get for free when you get a copy of the book. Okay, so every offer I create, there's a MIFGE. The MIFGE is always the free stuff they get you're attaching to the core product you're trying to sell. Does that make sense? Okay, so step number 1 is what is it you're trying to sell? What is the offer? And then what is the bonuses, the most incredible free gift ever you're attaching to the offer? And the reason why I do that, because I want to make this very, very special. When somebody comes to my my content launch funnel and they opt in, the next page will say, hey, congratulations, I'm going to give you a very special offer, okay? When you buy my book right now, I'm going to give you all these things for free, right? Like that's how I structure this irresistible offer. It's very simple. It's very easy. It's MIFGE. So it's attaching a MIFGE to anything that you're selling. So when I'm selling a continuity, a membership site, I say use a MIFGE to do that. I'm just attaching a MIFGE to that, right? But if I'm selling a $10,000 offer, again, let's say my $10,000 offer is a coaching program, what's my MIFGE? Okay, it's all the other bonuses they're getting that I'm attaching to that core offer. Does that make sense? So don't think of MIFGE is only for memberships and continuity, right? It's for when you're selling anything, okay? So step number 1, what is the thing you want to sell? And you're going to attach an offer around it, okay? That's step number 1. Now we're going to move to step number 2. So step number 2, the thing I start thinking through is like, okay, I've got this product, this offer I'm trying to sell. What are all of the things that I've done in the past to create content for it, right? And for most of you guys, if you are a producer, a publisher, you're putting things out there, right? You've probably done YouTube videos. You've probably been on people's podcasts. You've been in your own podcast, right? So I'm looking for those things. I'm looking for things that have like a unique story where somebody is interviewing me, or I did it somewhere, a unique spot, or I went deep on one topic, or whatever it might be. So for example, a really good one, the Expert Secrets. I had a chance. I was in Dean Graziosi and Joe Polish's Genius Network X, which is their 100K group. So you had to spend $100,000 to be in this room, right? And so the very first time before I finished the book, I did a session there where I taught the concepts from the book, right? It was on a whiteboard and stuff, and we recorded it. And so it's me teaching part of the book, but there's a story behind it, right? What's the story? It's like, well, I was at this event, it's called Genius X, where I spent $100,000. Everyone in the room spent $100,000 to be in this room, right? And I had the leaked recordings of me teaching this book before it's published. I taught things that didn't actually make it to the final copy of the book, but you can go listen, you can go, if you give me your email address, I can give that to you for free, right? So boom, they get that video. And then there's another video, another video. Does that make sense? So I'm finding like things that have a unique story around the content. That way, when I'm sending out the 3 emails prior, I'm not saying, hey, opt in to go get a thing. Hey, opt in to go get for free training. Hey, opt in, right? I'm saying something very unique. Like, hey, I've got 3 videos. Here's what the first one is. Give me your email address. You're gonna get this one that happened at the Genius event, right? Then day number 2, it's like, hey, there's this other video that's blah, blah, blah. Just insert story about this video. Why it's so cool. Why you want it. This is video number 2. Make sure you opt in so you get video number 2. And then here's video number 3. Now, it doesn't have to be videos. And, it could be, it could be a webinar. It could be a PDF. It could be a lot of different, it doesn't have to be videos. For me, videos are easier for me, but it may be different for you. Something else might be different. It might be content, right? And it doesn't have to be 4 videos. Like a product launch funnel traditionally has got 4 videos, right? That's the way Jeff Walker always taught it. But I have some of these where I just have 3 videos. Some where I only have 2. Okay. There's also some where I only have 1, and that's okay too, right? There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I'm gonna teach you guys one really cool secret that you can do. I had a chance a while ago to interview Ryan Holiday on Stoicism, right? So I had this interview with Ryan teaching Stoicism, all the core pillars of Stoicism, all this kind of stuff, right? So what do I have? I've got a video teaching what I call Stoic Secrets, right? And so, unfortunately, he wouldn't let me use the domain name, but I had stoicsecrets.com for a long time, right? And when someone would opt in stoicsecrets.com, okay, this is a content launch funnel. I was just taking a podcast interview I did, right? So somebody would opt in to see the interview with Ryan Holiday. The next page is like, hey, thank you so much for opting in for the interview. Before I take you to the interview, I want to make you a special offer, right? Boom, and I drop my MIFGE right there, which for me, the MIFGE was for Secrets of Success, right? So I create the MIFGE, I drop it, boom. People sign up for the trial for the success. And then from there afterwards, boom, they get taken to go watch the interview with Ryan. The interview with Ryan is 60 minutes long. And then what happens in the end of the interview? Yep, I pitch him back to the same MIFGE again, right? And there's 2 or 3 emails now pushing back like, hey, and because I only had 1 video, I just sent 3 emails to the same video. Like, hey, did you have a chance to watch it? Hey, if you missed it yesterday, make sure you watch it. Hey, I'm pulling it down, go and watch it, right? So I'm keep pushing people back to that thing, okay? And so it's interesting because like literally you can do this strategy with like every piece of content. I see people who've done 100 interviews for their podcast. I have 100 videos and they put them on podcasts, put them on YouTube, and then they kind of forget about them, right? It's like you can take those and you can publish them other places, right? Like last night I was going back through my YouTube channel, just like old videos from 4 or 5 years ago. And there's some that have like 500,000 views on them. And they're great. Like they're getting more views than any of my videos nowadays are getting, like for whatever reason, right? But there's some really good ones about like how to structure a funnel, like top secrets about funnel. Like, so I'm pulling some of my old YouTube videos and boom, plugging them into the content funnel. So like go back in your archives, like you have content in other places, okay? If not, you can create it. So a good example with my Secrets of Success business, I had a book that I wanted to promote. So I found 3 other people who were nerdy like me, who love books, and I sent them a copy of the books. One was Joe Vitale, one was Eileen Wilder, one was Annie Grace. I said, all of those guys, just all read the book, and I want to interview each of you guys on one of the chapters of the book, right? So somebody would come and they would opt in. In fact, I pulled the page up here a second ago. I wonder if I can find it and tell you guys if you want to go see it. Okay, if you go to, well, it's kind of long, dang. secretsofsuccess.com/how-to-anything-you-want-challenge. I got to find a better domain name than that. Anyway, that's where it's at. YouTube will drop a link down below. Maybe the podcast we can as well. But there's the challenge. It's a free thing, right? So they opt in. I call it the 3-day challenge. And day number 1, it's me interviewing Joe Vitale. Day number 2 is me interviewing Eileen Wilder. Day number 3 is me interviewing Annie Grace. And guess what we do? After they register, there's the thank you page MIFGE. Okay, then I did interview Joe Vitale. We talk about the book, his favorite chapter. We push it back to the MIFGE. Day number 2, Eileen Wilder, talk about the book. Then we push it to the MIFGE. Day number 3, Annie Grace, back to the MIFGE. Does that make sense? So literally that's how we do it. And the same thing with the Robert Collier book, right? We did a 3-day event on Robert Collier and like the same process, right? So we're creating the content around the offer to push to the offer. So it hopefully makes you start thinking about content a little bit differently, where like all these, the things you're doing to create content anyway now are more valuable than just the one thing. I create a podcast and it's gone, right? I put it on YouTube and now it's gone. Like I always think about YouTube and podcasts and stuff are great ways to get people into my funnels, right? Obviously. But then those videos, I can use them inside of a funnel, especially for this type of content launch funnel. Okay. Okay, so again, number one, you gotta figure out what you want to sell and attach a MIFGE to it. Number two, what content do you have around that? What could you create? What content has stories? Who could you interview about it? Like, what are things you can pull in? What stuff have you done in the past already on a YouTube channel or a podcast? You could, one of my friends, Matt Basak back in the day, he did one really cool. And him and his wife, they just laid in bed and they talked about, I can't remember what they were talking about. It was like an hour long. They called it pillow talk. Like, my wife and I were talking about late at night. Like, you just got to go grab your microphone and record something. There's so many cool ways to do it, right? But creating the content around it. And then step number three, in fact, you come back. If you had a book, it could be you just reading. I read chapter 1, I read chapter 6, I read chapter 12. Like, it could be just you reading a couple of chapters. That could be it too, right? Okay, now step number 3. This is how we structure, at least how we're structuring the emails, right? So I send 3 emails to get them to opt in to the content launch for that week. Okay, email 1, email 2, email 3. Each email is talking about a different story from the videos inside the members area. Boom. Okay. After they opt in, then again, I pull them off that email list. They won't get any of those 3 more emails. And then from there, they get the emails inside the content launch, right? So video number 1, video 2, video number 3. Okay. And then after that, then boom, everyone gets back on. We send 2 emails directly to the offer to everybody. So even the people who didn't opt in, and then the people who did opt in, push 2 emails to the offer to close people on the actual sell. All right. Now, the very first time I did this, like 4 or 5 years ago, this is what I did. And I'm actually gonna teach you guys a way to do it differently because eventually Tim Shields, who just spoke at our last Funnel Hacking Live, he taught me a way that was different. In fact, if you were at Funnel Hacking Live, he dropped it in the last 30 seconds of his presentation, and most people missed it, but it was like the secret sauce to this. So what we did the very first time is we built out these content launch funnels, and we had like 30 of them. Like it was a long sequence, right? So we'd opt in, they go through the first ones, the next one, next one, next one, and it was great. But the problem is, like, after we had that whole thing structured, which took way too long, I dumped everyone at the top of the funnel, and then for the next like 30 weeks, they were going through this gauntlet. I had to promote FHL, so kind of like threw things off. It's like, I can't email my list because I get emails here, and it kind of worked, but not really. But we structured when someone joined any of my email lists, they would drop at the top of that, and then they'd go through this whole gauntlet, right? It was pretty cool. But the problem is, like, when they got in this gauntlet, then if we promoted anything external, it's kind of threw things off. And so we ran that for a couple of years, and then it's just kind of fallen apart, and I needed to rebuild it and kind of restructure our offers and things. And so I was thinking, like, what do we do for this? What are the pieces, right? And then Tim Shields, what he taught me, what he was doing was so cool. Is Tim's got I think 9 webinars, right? They're all auto webinars. And what he does is he spends a week promoting webinar number 1. And then when it's done, then he transitions to week number 2, does webinar 2, and then webinar 3, and goes through the 9 weeks. When it's done, he starts back over the top again. And he goes back through, when it's done, he starts back over the top. And every time he creates a new webinar, he just stops the campaign, and then he'd plug in the new webinar. And I was at 10 webinars, right? And he goes back through and then starts back. And this is his whole cycle week after week after week. Now, Tim's built an 8-figure year business in the photography market doing this. Like, it's really powerful what he's doing. And so I assumed he had just daisy chained them all together, and it was just, anyway. And he said, no. He's like, I don't do that way. He's like, the way I do it, and by the way, this is the big aha. So what we're doing ours differently this time around, right? He said that I have a spreadsheet. So I have the first week, and we do the spreadsheet. We have the emails. We look at the things. We send them all out, right? Then the next one we do, but it's always live. It's in real time, so we can like see what's happening in the market. Do we need to stop or anything? Is there something specific that happened today in pop culture that, like, if we tweak the email, it would fit for that, right? Whatever it is, right? So it does each one until it gets to the bottom of the 9. Then when it gets done all 9, he starts back at the top one again and looks at, okay, last time we did this, what were the open rates, what were the click-throughs, how did it all look? So, okay, what can we tweak this time? Like, maybe email 2 didn't really work, or maybe the story wasn't right. So like they go and tweak a couple things, and then boom, it goes out. And the next week they come to number 2, and they do it again. They keep going through, and that's their whole process. So for me, that's what we're working on right now as well. Is we're going back through and basically every offer I have, and this is in the Russell business, the ClickFunnels business, PT Barnum business, or Barnum PT business. Which, if you don't know about Barnum PT, go to barnumpt.com. It's a cool plugin, but we're building a whole character around Barnum. The Magnetic Marketing, Dan Kennedy business, and Secret Success business. So we're doing one of these for each brand each week. So it's kind of intense, but it's so cool. And so what we're doing is basically, like I said, is like next week we've got 2 of them launching, right? So we've got number 1, we've got the Russell business, the ClickFunnels business both launching, and that one will go out, boom, right? And next week, the next one, and then based on how many offers we have, let's keep going deep. When we get to the bottom, they start back over and keep going, whichever one it is. And then when we have new offers, we just create a new offer, and then we just pause wherever it's at, plug a new offer in, launch that one, add it to the thing, and then that'll come back up next time it comes back around. Say you send email out to 100,000 people, you might get 30 or 40,000 actually open the email, right? And from that 5,000 that click, right? So only 5,000 people ever actually saw the opt-in page. From there, maybe 2,000 actually opted in, right? So here's the funnel, right? So yeah, maybe those 2,000 people actually saw it, but the other 98,000 didn't, right? So 9 weeks later, now you hit them again. And maybe this time they're more ready, or maybe something in their life's different. I have a friend in the dating market. He emails his list 9 times a day, 9. I was like, 9 times a day? You're crazy. He said, no, you don't understand. He's like, the dudes who follow me, he's like, they have a relationship because I'm fun on my emails and stuff. He's like, but most of them have a girlfriend most of the time, right? And he's like, but there's this little window of time that happens every once in a while where their girlfriend breaks up with them. And when that window happens, I need to be the first email in their inbox, right? So they're reading it for entertainment most of the time, and their heart gets broken, and boom, they open the email, and I'm right there. And then they buy. He's like, I always got to be in front of them, okay? So same thing's kind of true with you as well. Think about it, like, and by doing it this way, right, you're not just hitting them tons of offers, right? They're getting 3-day, 4-day like content launch campaigns every week. Right? They're just like, man, this Russell's serving. He keeps giving me more stuff and more cool stuff and more cool stuff and more cool stuff, right? And it builds this really cool reciprocity, if that's the right word, where they continue to open emails. Even if they don't read them all, if they don't watch it all, a lot of times people go in there, like they'll take the emails that I send them and they'll create like a little a folder, they save them there because like Russell's stuff's so good. Like if I just want to buy a course, instead of buying a course, I'll go back and just watch Russell's videos because his training videos he gives away for free around every one of his offers are better than most people's offers, right? And so that's kind of what you're trying to do is just build this this content engine where people are getting a lot of value. So I know a lot of times in the internet world, we talk about using content, right? But we're talking about Instagram and YouTube and podcasts, and those things are all great. But for me, to this day, and I've been doing this now for 2.5 decades, the channel that makes us the most amount of money is still, and not by a small, like 90-10, it's still email. Email is the secret. That's how we make our money, right? That's the most important thing to understand. So when you understand that, it's like, okay, how do we build a content machine around our email? Because that's the thing that's actually making us the money. That's what people are missing it, right? They have content machines happening all these other places, which are great. Do those things. With that said, you guys, if you have a funnel but it's not converting, the problem 99.9% of the time is your funnel is good, but you suck at selling. If you want to learn how to sell so your funnels will actually convert, then get a ticket to my next Selling Online event by clicking on the link in the description or go to sellingonline.com/YouTube right now. All right, you guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. That is how you create a content launch formula. It literally is the secret to selling anything without actually selling anything. You're just providing so much value that people want to buy your offers and they want to open your emails. They're going to archive emails. They're going to go back and read your emails, unlike most people. And it's all by using this one simple strategy. So you will see us doing it across all of our brands here. Again, we did a modified version of this 4 years ago. This is an updated version I'm so excited for. And I'm excited to see some of you guys kind of modeling as well because I think it's going to change everything. Thanks so much. My name is Russell Brunson. I'll see you guys all soon.